Hey, Ellen Page, I know you don't want to hear everyone's life story, but I think it would help to know me and mine. I think it would help to form a business partnership. As you can see, not exactly skinny jeans, but I can't afford those right now. And as you can see, not exactly skinny. Okay, that was this. That's the Mockingjay signal. Anyway, my story is not for the faint of heart. You already know part of it. It's not at all what someone would expect to enjoy, except as possibly a drama movie. Anyway, I've lived through a shit heap. And my favorite actors, some of my favorite actors can relate. Like, for instance, maybe David Cross or freaking Chris Rock. I lived at the bottom of the food chain with my mom. I still haven't left my mom because I'm such a mama's boy. Excuse me, mama's goal. The rest of the story I'm gonna have to speak to you in my little female voice. As I said, I was a mama's boy. Oh, goal. This can easily get you befuddled, as it happened twice. Before I was even old enough to even think about turning on a light, or even think about reaching up to that light switch, my father locked me in the basement. It's just like pictures in a book. I had to try to think about that line from The Shining, even though that line pretty much would have not saved me. Instead of thinking of that, I started banging on the door and crying to let me out. I know I creep you out probably, but I probably creep you out, probably, but that is not something you do to a little kid, especially one that is about 4 years old. Then there's all the hitting that he can't seem to remember. And then there's nothing but a brick wall of memories. Every brick has one memory. And the cement, well, that's the silver lining. There is always a silver lining. Although with all the things that happened to me, you wouldn't believe it. When I was in the 4th grade, I was like 8, I was told to give to the teacher this message by my teacher. Well, let's not start with that. Let's go back a little ways. I had a teacher named Miss Martha. We all called her that. Everyone called her that. She would just stand by while the other teachers in the daycare center that she was in, that actually taught us stuff. She would stand back and watch as all the teachers ganged up on the students. I mean, I'd already gotten punched in the stomach I've been belittled for this and this. I have lost 48 pounds only to get called a fat mofo. And then, when everything seems in place after all the beatings and arm pulls that literally almost dislocated my shoulder, damn it. Anyway, there's nothing funny about getting treated badly in daycare. They're supposed to care. That's why they call it daycare. But that's where I met just about the best friend I'd ever had. Robert. He was a black kid. As you can tell, this is probably going to go on for a long time. And while I understand if you don't want to watch all of this, it would do me great honor to entertain you, or even inform you of what happened. This happens all around the world. Kids are mistreated. There's even been a story in that so-called happy school where the teacher was found guilty of breaking a child's arm. Unfortunately, you can't find that online, so don't even try. It was read by the news anchor once and never again. That kid who got their arm broken, it wasn't me. I had hoped that he would get what was coming to him, but I didn't want that. He had been the one to punch me in the stomach. I am as stable a person as there ever was. Walking with me would not be a mistake. you can't find the LinkedIn account, all I can say is it was saying that you went to the University of Toronto and were previously an oracle of the University of Toronto. Google. And that currently you're in line with Cisco Systems and are in the greater Los Angeles area. I'm more a spokesperson at Cisco Systems, like I said. And it said Ellen Page. Now, I'm not one to judge but we over at LinkedIn need you. You have tremendous talent. Don't let it go to you. Don't let it go to waste. It is time that I speak clearly. When I was 8, there happened to be another particular part of my life that I wish had not happened. I was to deliver, like I said, a gift. For all I know, it was a parting gift. And I was pushed into a closet. Thank God the lights were on. But I had terrible claustrophobia. Now, usually I would scream at the top of my lungs, but I just sat there banging the door for a few minutes. Then I started to cry. I cried for God to save me from this. And not too long after, the door opened. The teacher saw me crying. I like to say that she called the principal, but I would be lying if I said that. Now, my sister would say the first lock that got me in the basement of my dad's house was nothing but a false memory. But don't you think I'd remember that? I mean, of all the things I could forget, why would I forget the one thing that my dad did that was damaging? He refuses to accept that he ever did it. He's such a fucking asshole. He's not like your dad. Unless he is. I don't know about your life. An ass bag. My father. Did it occur to him that he scarred me for life by doing that? More than coming out with his dick handled by his left hand of his room, coming out of his room with his dick in his hand. I don't know why, but that just didn't sit well with me. But it wasn't nearly as bad as what he did before. If you want to know something else, there was a lot that happened to me. But I'm not going to focus on just the bad things. After I tell you this one, that's the end of the bad things for a while. So, believe me or don't, something about something about that day was enough for me. I was never the same again. But then there was all the rest. Anyway, let's talk about the good stuff. I don't know if she was in love with me, but there was a girl in my class that I felt so in love with. It was the first, but not the last time I'd fell in love with someone who was different than me. If she saw me right now, I don't know if she would care to look or give me a second look. But we really did hit it off. This was before I realized I was transsexual. But we didn't know what we were doing, so it didn't last. Then came the love of my life. I'm still looking for her. It's a girl who helped me realize I was transsexual. Not transvestite. Transsexual. She knew just by speaking to me. I've never been that lucky since. In between that time and the next, I ran into a man who would be responsible for the second worst moment of my life. Andre Stevenson or something like that. I don't remember. I had to watch because I couldn't come out of the closet because he said he'd shoot me if I tried. He whispered it in my ear. I couldn't face that again. But it would eventually happen again. Only this time it wouldn't be my sister. But that's for another story. The next time it happened was not going to be told. I think we could be good business partners because I know somehow deep down inside
still down here being weird? You being weird down here? That's what you're doing? Are you recording? Hey, what's up? You're weird. Are you recording? Is that recording?
Yes.
Seriously?
Yes.
Why?
I have a vlog.
Wow. So, what you been recording on here?
Vlogs.
Of?
Of
Come on, bro.
I don't know, like
Get it out.
talking about my movie, talking about lots of stuff.
Well, hey world, this is my brother Joshua. Sorry. You messed up your hair. He doesn't like me right now. He finds me annoying. Oh my gosh, were you recording the entire time earlier? You're such a jackass. I hope they heard all of it. Oh, you fucking suck. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Hope heard that. Stop.
I can't delete a live stream.
What is wrong with you?
I've learned that live streaming isn't my thing.
What?
Not my thing.
Yeah, because some of the stuff that you're broadcasting on there is like none of anybody's business. Seriously.
Let's talk. Why would I be a good business partner? Because basically I know a lot about the film industry.
You know what you need to be doing is clean your bathroom because it's gross. Bro.
God. You know what? That was me imagining I could pull closed the door. Well, anyway, after that, I had the best time with a girl named Amanda. But that would be nothing compared to when I hooked back up with a girl whose name I don't even remember. I knew her for Christ. 6 years? No. 9. What are you doing?
So, this is what you're doing down here.
Yes. What?
You see the look on your face. You're recording. You're rolling your eyes at whatever. Hey, people! Some chick. Give my brother some ass. He needs some ass, really, really bad. Why the fuck are you live streaming? This is awful.
This isn't live stream.
Bet your followers
Justin.tv is live streaming. This is recording.
Mm-hmm. So that other thing that you recorded earlier, that was live streaming.
Yes.
You are such a jackass.
We're all entitled to our own opinion.
Yeah, so they all know that you're a thief. That you stole from your mom and that you're a douchebag.
Yeah, but they don't know why.
Who would need to know why? That's fucked up. Duh.
I have been fucked up.
That's an excuse. That's an excuse, people, because he knows what he's doing.
I didn't know what I was doing back then. I swear.
Liar! I'm sorry, that was just uncalled for. Not!
Just go.
Siblings! Siblings, aren't they great together? Still a douchebag.
That's why I'm never gonna live with you.
I don't want you to live with me, damn it! You're mean! Don't take your meds like you're supposed to.
I just started to. As you can see, she's something I've always had to get used to. Only I never did. That whole thing about me stealing from my mom, yes, I did. But I did that on accident. It was an accident. An accident! We will get to that when it comes time. Anyway, after I met back up with her, for a love that would last 9 years, actually, it was 6 years, sorry. She doesn't believe it was an accident. How can you believe it's an accident? I didn't do it on purpose, though. You can't tell someone you accidentally overdrew their account, though. It was an accident. Eight good years. 8 good years where I never wanted to hurt anyone by a credit card violation. But that's not what we're talking about. That is not what we're talking about. She doesn't understand because she wasn't there. No one understands because no one was there. If I could do it again, I wouldn't. I would make sure that nothing got taken out of the account. Instead, I don't have shit to drink. What is life if it doesn't have problems? Nothing. Ellen Page, if you would do me the honor of being your business partner, I could name your company, or I could have my company become a subsidiary of your company. I know a lot about film and the art of screenwriting. I lost faith in this new project. All I have to do is rewrite it. Basically the third draft. I will not stop until it is perfect. Cross my heart, I would never steal from the business. Never. I steal from the business, I would go to jail. I don't want another incident like 5-1, 6-1. I don't want you and your people to judge me. But that's not where the story ends. This is where it ends. No, it's not. Really. way back near the time I was in happy school. Grandma doesn't remember this. She wasn't wearing her glasses. Sarge, our dog, he was a basset hound. He was more than capable of jumping up and attacking him. Only one problem. While I'd been staying with her, he had grown old. Oh wait, I forgot. It's kind of important to remember that my sister, she doesn't believe in, she thinks that freaking transsexuals are a fucking fairy tale to her. I just want a chance. I get that chance, I would be the happiest person alive. Okay, let's try. Anyway, all I needed was one chance. She didn't know I was outside when he broke in, and I had known him. This might sound ridiculous and impossible, but when I had gone over there, I had expected him to shoot me. Instead, he didn't. And you know why he didn't? Because I stopped him. Grandma never noticed the bullet that went almost into my arm, but it just, this right here went through part of my arm. he shot a bullet into the wall. She never noticed it. Because I put putty on it. I was about 14. I don't know how that was even possible. But I threw a rock at him. I was a guy then, but I had early realized I remember telling him, "I'm a Chinese, you motherfucker." Because he had said, "Faggot." And maybe that sounds impossible, but I swear to God, it's true. You have to know this, because I would never lie about that. I ran off into the night. I might have been 14. By now I can't remember. But back when I was 11, Tanya, that was her name. My lover's name was Tanya. And I had made the biggest mistake of my life by leaving her about 6 years after we had met when I was 10. By then, I hoped Amy would take me back. It's not like it was a joint decision. But we were in the freaking hallway when it was time to give up and say, we're too different. Mankind will never accept our people being together, especially a transsexual lesbian. My cousin doesn't believe me, but Alex doesn't know me that well. Not because he didn't have a chance. He was around so much throughout the 90s and even the early 2K era. By the time you had even had officially thought about well life in America, all chances of getting to know him were gone. Getting to know him were gone away. I said some things. No one should say them. But they were in his diary. I wrote, I am pathetic. I should fucking kill myself. Then, again, he had talked about my people, not Sean's people, but my autistic people, as if they didn't matter. And it hurt me because he used the words, "Die, you kids, die." And in turn, I wrote, I'm a fucking whatever I said. I'm getting tired, obviously. I have been overly exhausted all day. I'm not gonna be able to make my way through this. Or am I? Anyway, years later, not really that long, but 2 years later, I had seen him no, it was longer than 2 years. I had seen him in his apartment. They were smoking weed. It happened before I got a high and I got paranoid. I asked if I could have a cognac, and despite the weed, they said no. I mean, what's cognac if it's not probably better than weed? Weed is mood altering and mind altering. It's technically hallucinogen. And that's not all. Happy times happened, but I was shutting him out of my life by then. Now, all that's left from my feelings of him is negativity. Then he entered my life. He moved in. I could tell you about how happy I was, or I could tell you about how much I became indifferent to it. Basically, I did become indifferent, but I never stopped being happy. Don't judge a book by its cover. I could act for you. I don't think Juno script is something I should read for you. Try this. Goodfellas. No, Gangs of New York. Half in shadow, a man named Valen, dressed in black, fastens. Damn it, fucked up. And a clean white clerical
Where's the
collar around his thick neck. He raises a jagged razor. Screw it. Valen cuts himself similarly on the left cheek, then hands the razor ceremoniously to a boy standing beside him. The boy, no more than 12 years old, looks at Valen worshipfully, keen eyes shining with fear and excitement. He starts to wipe the razor blade at the bottom of his jacket. No, never. The blood stays on the blade, son. Rabbit warrior. We'll send a few across the river today, priest. No Jack for baptism. No, wait, I didn't read that right. Did you bring the boy for a charm, priest? Says Happy Jack. Balin says, no Jack for baptism. Shang says, what's the fight? Amsterdam says, the dead rabbits against the Native Americans, same as ever. But it's all to be settled today. Shang says, are you native or rabbit? Orange to rabbit on pike. What do you think? Shang says, looks alright. I'll stand by you then. The group now turns down the last corridor as dim and long as a tunnel. In the distance is a faint glimmer of light, the figure of a man, Monk Eastman. Balin stops near the door. Balin, I don't know you. Man, lightly. I suppose there's to be a fight. Balin catches the heavy cleric inflection in the man's Celtic inflection in the man's voice. Don't know why I said cleric. Balin. Derry? Man, Donegal. Name's Monk Eastman. Balin. And you want to fight, Mr. Eastman? Monk. If there's a money in it. That's all I'm gonna read, as I really should probably try to get some sleep, or just finish this. I am unfortunately sad to say, but it pays good. I have spoken with a stripping person that whoever helps the strippers because I could have go-go danced, but I think this is probably better for money purposes. I'm gonna have to walk from one day through, well, Monday through Thursday. Every day I get home at 5 p.m. until I decide I want to do longer shifts. And those shifts will probably go up to 8 o'clock. Meanwhile, if I decide to stick with 5 o'clock, it'll still be 10 to 5. I mean, I know some people think this is a bad idea, but just think about it. Whatever floats your boat, right? You have to understand, I didn't get forced into this. I didn't have in mind this for the whole time. I think it's best to say this. I am as proud of myself as ever. I mean, I may be making a decision that some people may look on and frown, but you have to understand, it wasn't your decision. If I could walk any other job, I would. Besides, this is only for a year, and I'm quitting. Stripping may become a huge thing for me. I mean, if guys can get into stripping and not get insulted about it, then why do people like me and other biological women have to be called whores or trash for wanting to strip themselves? It's been made, this decision. No one's gonna stop me. But I've lost 48 pounds. You can't honestly believe that they would pick me out of a group if they didn't see something in that. It's not like it's forever. I'm gonna write my screenplay on Fridays and the weekends. However, if someone takes the fall, I'm probably going to go in for a walk. Ellen Page, pick me as a business partner, and you won't regret it. Even if you think that being a stripper is silly, it's not exactly your type of thing, I know that. But never call it silly. Because, first of all, you don't know about the stripping business. But still, you have a right to your opinion. We all do. Even my sister. Even my sister. The last thing that happened to me before when I started living here, all I can say is sodomy was involved. I was thinking the entire time of Hilary Swank's character, who was actually a real life person in I can't say much more than that, other than I got punched in the eye. But that is all over. And I'm happy now. I'm happy now. Happy now. And perfectly sane. Despite the terrible things that I've done that can never be forgiven. I didn't do it on purpose. I would never do it to a friend. I didn't even mean to do it to Mom. Much love.